Hey, everybody on the Ascension journey. Hey, Travis Carper, Ascension Health Coach, Southern Oregon. Wish to, it'd be great to see one of you guys at one of my workshops. We have a lot of fun. Plus, I have that PowerPoint presentation. So we go through a lot. We go through some cosmology and some astroparticle physics and some space weather, and then we bring it on down into, the high frequency foods, and we bring it on into the epigenetic health. And so, sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, workshops. Anyways, links down below in the description box. Hey, I just got done drinking a GT's kombucha, which reminded me that there's that blog on the website 3decrees.org, Alchemical Wizard 32, the microbial ecosystem of kombucha, because not all kombuchas are created the same, right? There's a whole different beneficial bacteria from the fermented foods, right? The symbiotic, the bacteria and the yeast bacteria, that combination. I'll probably read some of it. But what else? I was going to say briefly, if you want to read about it, because I noticed that GT's got their formula kind of changed. Like they took off the label, they took off Saccharomyces boulardii, that yeast, right? That fruiting, that mostly in the tropics, right? It wasn't on the label. So I wrote them an email, and they haven't gotten back to me. So I was just wondering, curious, because that yeast in particular helps like push out some of the extra candida when you need to balance it out, right? And then what else was I thinking about saying? Because fruit, right? Fruit, mostly fruits, and then some vegetables, that have the soil-based organisms. Or if you're playing in the garden, you can get that too. So it's just an important thing to have your gut microbiome, like your gut flora, going really well, right? So I suppose, because I'm heading towards, just something to consider here. I'm heading towards from like vegan eating, and then heading towards more of a fruitarian, right? Do a lot more breath work, do a lot more meditation, and then get into more of just the fruit eating, because the fructose and everything's in it, right? The structured water, it's in it, right? The watermelons and the even a cucumber's a fruit, right? The seeds, it's got the seeds in it. An apple, man, the citruses, right? Just getting into that more, and then the more, it's taken me a while too. Just try to consider, or remember this, that if you don't have to like go overboard and just totally discipline yourself and totally do it. Maybe ease into things, right? Like, well, just as I'm doing, because I'm like easing my way, grabbing some different fruits and putting it back in to my smoothie. Because before, like, I had an overgrowth of candida, so I just didn't put bananas. I put avocado, I put a green apple, a little half a slice of green apple in my smoothie, right? So more tart, right? And then I was using the kale leaves and stuff like that. I still use kale leaves, right? So I don't know, just thinking about like what gorillas, right? They're stronger than heck, man. And they're eating fruit and leaves. And we're almost exactly like a gorilla, right? This human construction, this avatar, right? So just a thought there. Do your own research, of course. Okay, so enough said about that. I was just going to read maybe a little bit of, not the whole thing. Alchemical Wizard 32, the microbial ecosystem of kombucha. Kombucha, our new favorite tea fungus, or floating cellulosic pellicle health drink that dates back thousands of years past the Qin dynasty. Qin dynasty. Yeah, past 221 BCE, because archaeological digs, they're finding out like even way thousands of years before that, you know, they're finding fermented foods and stuff like that, right? So anyways, and it's gaining mass popularity among the health conscious in our Western world. And so we're going to talk about that. Japanese name, Kambu, and then cha is a tea cocktail of beneficial microbacteria. So you can imagine it going maybe from the Middle East too, or and you know, Samaria and past before Egypt, right? And you can go all the way back to Atlantean and Lemurian, and probably, you know, they're probably, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, when it got over to Japan, right? Because they take like even the tofu, like I eat tempeh still, right? And it's a fermented tofu. Anyways, let's read on. Cha tea cocktail, beneficial microbial products, a culture of bacteria and yeast that coexist within a cellulose, a layered mini eco community that they create themselves. It's not yet known when exactly these cellulose forming bacteria and yeast merge to create a unique symbiotic mini ecosystem that became you know, a factory for tea beverage production. For well over 2,000 years, though, longevity fans of kombucha have been using this fermented drink to quench their thirst, to increase vitality, boost positive energy, and maintain their microflora balance in their gut microbiome. So you would imagine that just, you know, human beings with this really cool, clean avatar before all the packaged foods, right? That they're picking from the tree and the vines, right? The super berries all over. They're picking like the fruits off the trees, the coconuts, the bananas, the pineapples, you know, and then they're carting them. They're carting them home. So some of them got fermented, right? So they're utilizing that. Why am I bringing all this up? Not all kombucha is naturally created equal or with the same bacterial spores and yeast cultures. The SCOBY, symbiotic community of bacteria and yeast, the SCOBY, the symbiotic community of bacteria and yeast, or pellicle, are specific bacteria and yeast strains in the kombucha that make it act the way it does, you know, the fizz, the flavor of it. Not all kombucha cultures will contain exact same strains, but these are some that have been recorded by many studies through DNA sequencing. So I basically go through the acetobacteria, or the anaerobic and aerobic, and then the Saccharomyces, all the different ones of those, like Luigi, Saccharomyces. I go through those. The Brettanomyces, the Lactobacillus, of course. But anyways, let's go down, because I don't want to read all of these. Glucuronic acid is one of the biological body's most important detoxifiers. When toxins enter the liver, this acid's usually in there. This one and the other one. I'll read it. For the liver, this acid binds them to it and flushes them out through the kidneys, toxins. Right? So it is kombucha. Some people can overdo it and stuff, but you know, I don't know, just it's a good beverage to drink once in a while, right? Tea is good too, right? You know, green tea, right? So green and black tea, fermented, and then the bacteria is good for to add those back into your gut microbiome, right? So, and then balance it out. I don't know. So I still drink kombuchas, even though they've changed some of the recipes. So that's why I'm talking about this, you know, just to be, I mean, I think, I don't know, it was like another brand, and they only had a couple of things in there, and they actually had candida in. So I just want you guys to be aware and read the labels. Always read labels, everything, right? You know, I mean, if you're one of those people watching this and you're like a fruitarian, you're just eating raw, like mostly at home, so don't worry about it, because then you probably don't even buy products. You probably know what I'm talking about. But this is for anyone else that's, if you're not aware of things, try to read and do your own research. Just awareness. Anyways, product oxidation process of glucuronic acid is one of the more significant constituents of kombucha as a detoxifying agent. It's one of the few agents that can cope, why I wanted to read this, that can cope with pollution from the products of the petroleum industry, including all plastics, herbicides, pesticides, and resins. It kidnaps the phenols in the liver, which we talked about, right? We talked about phthalates and microplastics and all that, right? And in Alchemical Wizard 25, which are then eliminated easily through the kidneys. Kombucha can be, that's why one of the things about fruit, right? It's got everything in it. It's got the fructose, it's got structured water, it's got everything to flush things out. Things don't get, all that fructose sugar doesn't get pulled out and away because it's, like refined sugar is like a poison, right? And so your microorganisms are grabbing it and throwing it as fat because it can't be flushed through the glands, right? The kidneys and liver and all that. Okay? So, something to think about. Okay, what was I talking about? Eliminates either through the kidneys. Kombucha can be very helpful for allergy sufferers. Another byproduct of glucuronic acid are glucosamines, right? Glucosamines, the structures associated with cartilage, collagen, and the fluids which lubricate the joints, right? It is the function that makes kombucha so effective against arthritis, right? And here's a tip, right? Because I add mine, what I do, if I either kombucha or the raw apple cider vinegar, right? I add the turmeric and the ginger root, and some ground peppercorns in there to make it more bioavailable for the anti-inflammatory. So that's kind of another cool tonic to have on hand, right? As an anti-inflammatory, like the kombucha with the turmeric and ginger root in it, or some type of, or the organic raw apple cider vinegar, because that's like 97 like micro or some bacteria, right? That's in there. Okay, so lactic acid. What was it else? Usinic acid, oxalic oxalate as an effective preservative, and it increases the intercellular production of energy. Oxalate can bind to minerals to form compounds including calcium oxalate and iron oxalate. This mostly occurs in the colon, but can also take place in the kidneys and other parts of the urinary tract. Malic acid helps to detoxify the liver, increases energy levels in our biological body, with the results in the formation of ATP, right? Okay, I wanted to read this one. Gluconic acid produced by the bacteria can break down to caprylic acid, which is of great benefit to sufferers of candida, candiosis, or however they pronounce it, and other yeast infections such as thrush. So one of the good things, you can just drink the kombucha or you can go look for it as a supplement. But right, if you're, like I always say, try to eat just the raw fruits, mostly fruits and some vegetables, right, I guess, and off of the tree, off of the vine, right? Maybe some off of the ground, out of, a couple of roots, right? As an herb, as an adaptogenic herbs too, and adding that into your diet, right? What was I gonna say? Into your diet, because that's the simplest thing for your body to digest, But the kombucha as a tonic to help balance yourself out is just it's a good way to go, right? Okay. Kombucha also contains a variety of other nutrients, particular various acids and esters, and give the drink its characteristic tang and fizz. Including all these components is gluconic acid, which is a primary difference between the makeup of kombucha and the makeup of the raw apple cider vinegar. So it's got that in it, because that, you know, they don't know when, at some thousands of years ago, the bacteria and then the yeast bacteria came together to make this SCOBY, to make this thing, this fermented form, the cellulose. Okay, the actual bacteria flavonoids, where are we at? Flavonoids are part of a large class of chemicals called polyphenols that occur naturally in plants. Flavonoids, which are found in a variety of fruits and vegetables, as well as in tea and red wine, are thought to boost health in part by combating oxidation. That's why they're called antioxidants. Antioxidants help the biological body's cells resist damage from free radicals. Tea has one of the highest total flavonoid contents of all the plants, 15% of the leaf by dry weight. So that's why everybody's into the matcha green tea and the green teas and the gunpowder green tea and the jasmine Chinese, the green tea, you know, those are good. Those are real good. Yeah. Try to get in. It's hard for me too, because I was drinking coffee, right? So I had to get down into the, you know, Irish, beyond the English black tea, like into the Irish dark black tea, right? First, I had to wean myself off of that, and now I'm getting into the green, and then into the kombucha. You know, that's what I do, and that's what I suggest to other people, and it helps them kind of incorporate these constructive practices. And so your brain, right? Your brain goes, oh, because it takes 12 weeks to form constructive habits, or if any kind of habit, actually, a bad habit too. So it takes you about 12 weeks. So that's what you do. Do it slowly. Add something into your life that's constructive, and then have these practices and routines, right? And then you add another one later on, right? I'm still, like I said in the last video, I'm still adding stuff. I'm still adding another pose in my yin yoga. I'm adding learning, and then I'm adding and learning. Okay, let's just, you know, you guys can read this one, the Alchemical Wizard 32, the microbial ecosystem of kombucha. It's on the website. Anyways, some benefits, huh? Healthy digestion attributed to the process of fermentation with a live colony of bacteria and yeast. It works as a probiotic by helping in sustaining the gut health and provides relief from various abdominal disorders, including chronic constipation and diarrhea symptoms. The digestive enzymes presented in it enhances the effects of glucuronic acid and adding in the breakdown of proteins and saccharides, thereby making the digestive system more efficient. Kombucha possesses antibiotic properties like bactericidal and bacteriostatic, which works against a range of pathogens and is used for therapeutic purposes in our biological bodies, as well as in veterinarian treatments. Wow. I wonder if your dog would lap up some kombucha. I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe. Weird. Something to think about, huh? Call up your veterinarian. Hey, can my dog have some of my kombucha? Man, write a comment down below. Let's see what that's all about. It's kind of cool though, because you know they need good microbiome too, especially our pets, man. I know somebody very close to me that did not take care of their pet very well at all. In fact, very much neglected that pet, and I felt really terrible. And they just kept buying the crazy, super ashed out, really bad food for this. Never mind. I won't even go down that road. Hurts the heart. Okay. contains profuse amounts of organic acids like glucuronic acid and powerful antioxidants. Blah, 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 blah. We already said that. From oxidative damage. Yeah. Another suggested healing action is kombucha supports the liver by its hepatic protective effects. A research study conducted on kombucha has shown that its tea helps in restoring the levels of glutathione and is remarkably effectual in reducing the induced hepatotoxicity. A comparative study conducted on black tea, kombucha tea, and enzyme-produced black tea has proven the efficiency and superiority of kombucha tea in providing hepatic protection against the toxicity attributing to its antioxidant power as compared to the latter. Anyways, right? So I just wanted you guys to know that I hope this helps. Do your own research, of course, on kombucha and other fermented foods benefiting your gut microbiome, our biological body's first brain, the first brain, right? It's the gut brain. And, you know, and then this brain, but the heart brain, if you can slow down enough to meditate out in nature and actually get that circadian rhythm going and then listen to your heart and let what we call the high heart toroidal field, your actual biofield physiology, and let it expand and let that consciousness expand, and you'll feel more light and love come into your heart, right? Because that's where it's at, right? Because that's actually connected to really everything. That is that part, or your soul or your spirit, you know, your etheric, your astral, your field is connected. And this is just a condensed part of the field, right? The biological part of it, right? Your light body, it's more of a condensed, it's third dimensional, but it's opening up. It's opening up to a fourth density. So helping your avatar get into the higher frequencies, and then you can listen to your heart more. Really, I'm serious. I mean, on a bus ride, right? The other day, you know, the bus was late. Had to catch another bus, and then that bus, if you miss that one, you have to wait another hour. But you breathe, and you go, maybe I'll meet somebody else on the bus that I didn't make, you know, and then you just think about it in a positive way. And that's kind of your heart talking to you. That's more of your higher consciousness. That's yourself talking to you. Anyways, diverse foods, broad spectrum, man. Get into the fruits, you know, and if you need some sweetness, grab the currants, like a few of the dried foods, right? The dried currants, the dried raisins, the dried dates, you know, figs, you know, all that and then you can throw that in your smoothie, right? That's what I do. I just bought a huge bag of organic currants, and I just have to use a little bit. I think it was $2.50 organic. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I can just sweeten up my smoothie. Boom, just like that, natural. Fructose. I'm telling you. Yeah, I don't even do any of the, you know, the honeys, the Manuka honey, you know, all that. That's good, yeah, or you know, coconut sugar, you know, all that. I just get it from the fruit, right? Because your body can digest it. They are right there in the garden, from the ground, right, from the vine, from the tree. Cogitate that we are a multidimensional light being utilizing an avatar that is mostly made up of water and microorganisms held together by an electromagnetic field, right? So hang in there, everybody. There's going to be a lot more higher frequency photonic energetic pulsed waves coming, and the measurement of some of the Schumann resonances, one of the measurements, it's climbing higher because Gaia itself, her crystalline grid system that's laying over the top of the ley lines, right? this thing is coming back online too. She is coming back on. So we're talking about the what is the unit? The 7.83 that usually her heartbeat is. I'm pretty sure it's getting towards 16 hertz now. Okay? So the whole entire planet is raising its vibration. Okay? So it's not just through the pulsed waves from the center of the galaxy, right? Through that source from the central sun, we call it, or this central sun, anyways. And it comes through the different systems. It comes through the different star systems, right? And they're entities too, right? Like Solaris, our sun, Sol, the Sol system, Solaris. Anyways, it comes through all the systems, not just Alcyone too. I mean, that toroidal field, we're in the photon belt too, and it comes through that star, right? And then it goes to another star system, right? They all come through in this way. And so the energetics, because we've already done an ascension cycle, a grand ascension cycle, right? All the way around the galaxy. And so things ascend, or basically you don't even need to use the term ascension anymore. It just vibrates higher. It's moving higher. It's changing. It's shifting, right? The fluidic fractal space-time continuation of love in all of its diverse diverse expressions and myriad forms, or myriad, anyway, something like that. I say it all the time. Stay hydrated with structured water. Eat a bunch of fruit. Blessings, everyone.